this video, we are talking about the top things that I wish I knew when I started programming. So yeah, let's get into it. So number one, just get started with coding. There is no perfect sauce. There is no like perfect date that you would like have time to code, and you don't need to like be a math genius to know how to code. Okay, you can imagine it. It's like you are, a kid would take like about, I don't know, maybe a year to start be able to talk. Okay, now it may take you similar time to learn how to code, because basically coding is you are talking to the machine. Okay, so for you to grasp this skill, to be able to use this skill in your daily life, you would need to know how to code, and for you to know how to code, you would need this amount of time. Now it varies. Okay, some people have prior computers experience, so it would be much easier. Some know nothing about computers, it would be much harder, or shall I say not easier and harder, but it would take more time for those who have no prior experience in comparison to those who have prior experience in computers in general. Yeah, so just get started. Now number two is focus on the basics, guys. Okay, the basics are everything. Don't let that big idea inside your head of creating the amazing website, or creating that perfect mobile app, or creating that next Uber, or that next, I don't know, Call of Duty. Okay, none of that's going to happen, because here's two things that nobody would tell you. Okay, sorry to disappoint you, but this is reality. Okay, nobody cares about in psychology there is something called, I don't know what it's called, but it's basically means that we value things just because it's us who have done it, or because it's ours. So for example, if you go and sell your car, you would probably price it higher than the price of the real price of the car in the market, because just it's your car, though you yourself will not pay someone else that same amount you've named for this car. So you see, so we sometimes values our own creations, and that's good. Okay, that's great. No, like, don't take it as something bad. Like, we all have it. Now the idea is, if you could not focus on the basics, okay, you will not get anything done. Okay, you will not be able to create anything. So guys, focus on the basics. Okay, so number three is coding and writing code is not about writing code. Okay, it's about creating stuff and solving problems in general. So don't just code because you want to code. So if there is a framework so don't go and create everything from scratch. I was like, you know what, like there's those people who like would be, I want to create my own operating system and my own code editor and my own programming language. Like, why is that, dude? Like, chill out, man. Coding is not about that. Coding is about you creating stuff that solves problem for other people. Maybe sometimes it could be for charity, sometimes it could be for business, but in general it's to help other people. So create, learn to create, don't learn to code. And if there is like, it would be so much easier for you to use another framework, okay, than for you to invent your own framework or library. So for example, if you being a programmer does not mean, like, don't be paralyzed by the amount of frameworks. Just pick and go. Okay, analyze, pick and go. So yeah, so don't reinvent the wheel, guys. Learn to create stuff. So if you want to create a video game, go and create video game. Don't create every single tool that you will need to create this video game. Why would you do that? Like, I don't understand. Anyway, so let's jump into the next point. Okay, so the next point is specialize, but always try new things. Now, thankfully, this does not, okay, this partially would be an advice for me. It's hard to maintain that balance. It's like, it's like life and work balance. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's hard, but it's worth it. Like, man, because if you did not try new things, you will become outdated so fast. I've just watched a video from Chris Do, if you know him, the Future YouTube channel, and he was talking about this, the difference between specializing, or when you should specialize and generalize. He said, so long story short, specialize in your work and generalize in your life. So do whatever you want as a hobby, and in the work, be like extreme specialist. So yeah, specialize and try new things so you don't get outdated. Okay, so let's jump into the next one. Programming language does not matter. Okay, programming is not about programming language. Okay, programming is about logic. It's about creating stuff, as I've told you earlier. So we've talked about not falling into the frameworks. Don't get paralyzed in the framework. Just pick one and go. And that also applies to programming languages and in everything in software development. So with programming languages, I can't talk. With programming languages, just pick something. And why is that? That's also relates to the point of specializing. In programming languages, if you specialized in one programming language, if you mastered one programming language, as I did, I started with C#, but then I mastered Python. So with Python, after I learned Python, and you get to a point where you can read others' code and get a sense of it, okay? And maybe if you spend more time, you can know what is it doing without even running the actual code. Now that's what I call it mastery. Now when you get to that point, the programming logic, okay, not the programming language, the programming logic have already been installed in your brain. It's like a software, okay? So at that point, you would know what are the things that make sense, what are the things that doesn't make sense, and at that point, any programming language is learnable for you. Why? It's just a matter of a week or two for you to grasp the syntax. By the way, syntax means the way a certain programming language is written. It's like the alphabets, okay? The alphabets and the grammars of the programming language, but it's all computers language, okay? It's computers programming language. All of them are computers languages, so they are all have the same basics. That's why you should focus only in one and learn and master it at first. Then after that, go try new stuff, build stuff, and yeah, the world is yours. Now at that point, you would need to get your foot wet. Now this step, okay, this step is actually from Cal. His step is to learn Git, learn GitHub, learn the command line interfaces. So in program or in software or in the digital world in general, there are two types of software, okay? GUI, which is a shortcut or an acronym for graphical user interfaces, and there is CLI, which is an acronym for command line interfaces. Now both those softwares, you as probably a normal computer user, you only is used to the GUI faces, okay, like those clicks and buttons and scroll, and maybe if you're in a mobile phone, there's those gestures and whatnot. Now with the command line inner interface, it looks something like this. Now this may seem scary at first, but trust me, once you master it, you will love it. It's so much faster than a GUI. And you can do some fancy stuff with it. Oh my god, it's just amazing. So yeah, learn the command line. So get used to the command line interfaces and learn Git. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, okay? Yeah, anyway. So, I don't know which number we are right now. But, lastly, after you've done all of that, here comes the harsh truth. You, after learning all the basics and specializing and doing everything I've said in this video, 2 years in, and you are working as a software developer, okay, and you are at your dream job, and you would feel like you know nothing. Software development is not about knowing everything. It's about making stuff that helps others. So anyway, what you should do if you got to that point, you would start feeling that I don't know anything, but I am already hired. Like, what is that? What kind of job is this? And yeah, here's one more thing. You would, in your job, okay, you would be searching most of the time. Like, you would be googling most of the time. So you need to get used to that. You would be like a googling monkey. Like, you shouldn't be that, okay? I'm not saying you should be that, but it is necessary, okay? Because coding, you find solutions, okay? You find the best solutions and you apply them. Now, I'm not saying go and copy paste from Stack Overflow, okay? You will do that, but you don't use that as a solution. You take that as an opportunity to learn about the thing mentioned in the answer of the question you are looking for. So that would make you learn like a rocket. Like, you would blow up so fast that people would get surprised. So don't just copy paste, okay? Like, I know the temptation is hard. You feel like, oh yeah, it works, let's jump into the next problem. Don't, especially at this stage, you are still learning. So what to do is focus on the basics, and if you got a problem, try to expand from there, okay? Because that means you have what I call is you have a gap of knowledge, and for that gap to be filled, you would need to search up. Because if you did not search at that moment, so take that opportunity. It would really save you time later on. Take that opportunity, learn about the thing that you are in right now. So yeah, if you got stuck, found a solution, try to expand from there. Don't go too far, because you may get to a point where you forget about the whole thing you are working on and you want to start something new. No, I'm not saying that. Just use it as an opportunity to learn. Okay, guys? So yeah. Now, after you've got all of that, here's what would happen. You would feel like you know nothing, and that's perfectly fine. Here's what to do. Go and teach others. Go and look for beginners and ask them if they need any help. Go and open Python. Open Reddit. Go open Stack Overflow. Type Python, and you'll find thousands of questions right there. Go and look up in Twitter. You'll find a lot of questions, and that's what software developers do in their lives. They learn, they make things that helps people, and at the end of the day, they help others learn and keeps up the journey of this awesome world. So yeah guys, that's it. Stay safe, stay home, stay hungry, stay foolish. See you in the next one.